If books could talk, today's dialogue, The Hobbit.
You think this is just a children's bedtime story, but you're completely wrong.
The Hobbit is actually a dangerous psychological manipulation, a blueprint for control.
Hold up, you're saying Tolkien created mind control through fantasy?
Bilbo Baggins represents the average person, comfortable and afraid of change.
That's wild, but everyone loves the cozy Hobbit lifestyle.
Exactly, that's the programming, making comfort seem like the ultimate goal.
You're kidding. The whole Shire is just propaganda for conformity?
The dwarves represent suppressed ambition, buried deep in every person.
Wait, so Gandalf is what, some kind of manipulative guru?
He's the external force that disrupts comfortable illusions, forcing growth.
This changes everything. The ring isn't just a magical object.
The One Ring represents hidden potential, power that terrifies most people.
No way. You're saying we all have a ring we're afraid to claim?
Smaug represents the psychological dragons guarding your untapped resources.
That's deep. The treasure is actually our own unclaimed abilities.
Gollum shows what happens when you let fear consume your potential.
Hold on, so the whole journey is an internal psychological battle?
Every monster represents a different fear that holds people back.
You're telling me trolls are just fear of social judgment?
And goblins represent the bureaucratic systems that trap creative minds.
This is insane. The elves are what then?
Elves symbolize detached perfectionism, beautiful but disconnected from reality.
So Rivendell is just aesthetic escapism from real problems?
Exactly. It's the trap of wanting everything to be perfect before starting.
What about the dwarves' obsession with their ancestral home?
That's nostalgia programming, making people chase past glory instead of creating new.
You're saying the whole quest is actually misguided?
It's about reclaiming what was lost, but the real treasure is the journey itself.
Wait, so the dragon's hoard is just symbolic?
The real gold is the confidence Bilbo gains through overcoming challenges.
This reframes everything. The Battle of Five Armies, then?
That represents the internal conflict when different aspects of self clash.
So everyone fighting is just parts of personality in conflict?
Dwarves, elves, men, and goblins all represent different psychological forces.
This is blowing my mind. What about Beorn the Skin Changer?
He represents the ability to transform between different states of consciousness.
So shape-shifting is actually about mental flexibility.
Exactly. Most people are stuck in one rigid identity, unable to adapt.
What about the spiders in Mirkwood Forest?
They represent the web of negative thoughts that trap people in depression.
So escaping them is about breaking free from mental patterns?
Bilbo's sword sting represents the sharp awareness needed to cut through illusions.
This is getting intense. What about the barrel's escape scene?
That's about using uncomfortable situations as vehicles for transformation.
So being trapped in a barrel is actually a metaphor?
It represents being carried by circumstances toward necessary growth.
What about the Arkenstone, the heart of the mountain?
That's the core truth people are afraid to face about themselves.
So Thorin's obsession with it is what exactly?
It shows how people become possessed by their search for validation.
This is heavy. What about Bilbo giving it away?
That represents letting go of the need for external approval to find peace.
So the whole story is about psychological liberation?
It's a coded manual for breaking free from societal conditioning.
Wait, but Tolkien said it was just for his children.
The deepest truths are often hidden in plain sight, disguised as entertainment.
You're saying he knew exactly what he was doing?
As a professor of language and mythology, he understood symbolic programming.
This changes how I see all fantasy literature now.
Most great stories are psychological operations disguised as mere tales.
What about the connection to Lord of the Rings?
The Hobbit is the awakening. Lord of the Rings is the full transformation.
So Bilbo's journey prepares for Frodo's mission?
Exactly. One generation's breakthroughs enable the next achievements.
This makes the movies seem shallow by comparison.
Hollywood removed the psychological depth to make it more commercially safe.
What about the riddles in the dark with Gollum?
That's the battle of wits between conscious mind and subconscious fears.
So, what have I got in my pocket? is actually profound.
It represents the unexpected resources hidden within every person.
This reframes the whole unexpected journey concept.
The most important journeys are always unexpected psychological awakenings.
What about the egos rescuing them multiple times?
They represent moments of divine insight that save us from ourselves.
So it's not just convenient plot devices?
Nothing in true mythology is random. Every element has symbolic meaning.
This makes me want to reread everything differently.
That's the point. To make you question all surface-level interpretations.
What about the dragon sickness affecting Thorin?
That's the corruption that comes from becoming obsessed with material wealth.
So it's a warning about greed and attachment?
It shows how the pursuit of external treasures destroys internal peace.
What about Bilbo returning home but changed?
He represents the person who can never go back to naive comfort.
So awakening is actually irreversible.
Once you see the psychological truth, you can't unsee the programming.
This is making me uncomfortable in a good way.
Discomfort is the first sign of breaking through conditioning.
What about the fact it was published in 1937?
Right before World War II, when people needed psychological preparation for chaos.
So it was actually timely psychological preparation.
Great literature always anticipates the psychological needs of its era.
This conversation has completely changed my perspective.
That's the real magic, changing how people see their own minds.
I need to process all of this. It's overwhelming.
The overwhelm is the old programming fighting to maintain control.
So what's the one thing I should take from this?
You have a dragon guarding treasures within you that need reclaiming.
And the journey starts when?
The moment you stop waiting for a wizard and become your own guide.
Wait, you're telling me comfort zones are actually prisons?
Exactly. The Shire represents safety, but also stagnation.
That's terrifying, because we all want security.
Security becomes a cage when it prevents growth.
But Bilbo didn't choose adventure. It chose him.
The best transformations often begin with disruption.
So you're saying we should welcome chaos.
Not welcome, but recognize its transformative power.
That feels like romanticizing suffering, though.
It's about finding meaning in the struggle.
Oh, what about people who just want peace?
Peace without purpose becomes emptiness.
That's a harsh judgment on ordinary lives.
Ordinary lives contain extraordinary potential.
Potential that requires dragons to awaken.
Dragons represent the challenges we all face.
Not everyone has a dragon in their life.
Everyone faces their own version of Smaug.
What if someone's dragon is just depression?
Then that dragon guards a treasure worth finding.
Hold on, that's dangerously optimistic.
It's not optimism. It's recognizing hidden value.
You are turning pain into some kind of gift.
Pain reveals what comfort conceals.
That sounds like toxic positivity to me.
It's the opposite. It's acknowledging reality.
Reality includes suffering without meaning.
Meaning isn't given. It's created through response.
So Bilbo created meaning from his fear.
He transformed fear into courage through action.
What about people who can't take action?
The small step begins the journey.
That's easy for a fantasy book to say.
Fantasy reveals truths. Reality often obscures.
You're avoiding my real concern here.
Which is that transformation requires suffering.
Yes, and that's a terrible message.
It's not a message. It's an observation.
Observations can still be harmful frameworks.
Frameworks help us navigate difficult terrain.
What if the framework itself is the problem?
Then we must examine our assumptions carefully.
They're admitting your perspective might be flawed.
All perspectives contain limitations and blind spots.
That's the first honest thing you've said.
Honesty requires acknowledging what we don't know.
So you don't have all the answers.
I offer questions more than answers.
Questions about why we must suffer.
Questions about what suffering can reveal.
There's a difference between those two.
One looks for causes, the other for meaning.
Meaning feels like a consolation prize.
Consolation implies we're settling for less.
Aren't we when pain is unavoidable?
We're finding value in what cannot be avoided.
That sounds like making the best of it.
Making the best reveals our creative capacity.
Creativity born from necessity, not choice.
Necessity often unlocks what choice would not.
You're describing adaptation as transcendence,
Adaptation contains seeds of transcendence.
seeds that may never grow into anything.
The potential for growth matters more than guarantee.
Potential feels empty without realization.
Realization begins with recognizing the potential.
So we're back to perception changing reality,
Perception changes our experience of reality.
which changes what we're capable of achieving.
Exactly. Our limits often exist in our minds.
Like Bilbo thinking he was just a hobbit.
He discovered he was a hobbit who could.
The who could makes all the difference.
That difference transforms identity from fixed to fluid.
Fluid identity sounds unstable though.
It's responsive rather than reactive to life.
Responsive means we're not victims of circumstance.
We're participants, shaping our journey actively.
Even when the journey feels forced upon us.
How we travel matters more than why we left.
That reframes everything we've discussed.
Biframing is the essence of growth,
From why me to what now?
from victim to adventurer in your own story.
But adventurers still face dragons and danger.
They face them with purpose rather than despair.
Purpose transforms suffering into something else.
It transforms it into material for creation.
Creation of what exactly?
Creation of meaning, resilience, and unexpected strength.
Strength we didn't know we possessed.
Strength that only emerges through testing,
So the test reveals what was always there.
waiting to be discovered and claimed.
Claimed through action, not just intention.
Action makes potential into lived experience.
Lived experience changes who we become.
It changes how we see ourselves fundamentally,
From hobbit to burglar to hero.
from comfortable to capable, beyond imagination.